Morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Okay, just another 10 minutes. I'm going to give an instruction. Please listen to me. I'm going to mute off your audio. You cannot listen to my. You cannot make your voice there. Okay. You can listen only what I'm saying here for another 10 minutes. Just I'm going to give an instructions. Just thumbs up. If you get the point, just thumbs up. Otherwise, there is one more option. You can find it in my screen. You can see the more button will be there. The right down corner, you can find out more button will be there. Just click the more button. The thumbs up will be there. Okay. That means if you have any clarifications regarding my presentations or would you like to add few more points, you can just come forward and then say, sir, I would like to add on. Or I have a query on the particular presentations. And I would like to, as I told earlier in the beginning of this session, why I was invited both first year and second year. In third year, there is a chapter called Positive School Environment. For first year, there is called Positive Classroom Management. Okay, the classroom management strategy. So I thought that we can combine these first years and third years for this session. Okay, can you able to understand me? Please thumbs up. Can you listen? Can you able to get my point? Just thumbs up your hand. Yes, fine, good. And many of them are not. I think they are not able to get what I'm saying. Okay, yes, fine, very good. Very good. Many still they are not yet found that button. I think so. See, in the more button, we can find out thumbs up will be there. Just click the thumbs up, it will show it. Or if you are in a video, just raise your hand. That's enough. And one more thing, these conversations will be recorded and it will be updated on YouTube. Suppose if you are not able to get what we discussed in this session, you can get it later also. Based on your convenient time, you can play back and then listen. Okay. Here, so as I said in the earlier, what I'm going to speak today. For third years, it's on positive school classroom environment. For first years, it's about classroom management strategy. There's a close relationship between these two topics. That is why I took both of you here for today's session. Okay. Here, I'm going to share one of the important things. The screen, I think you can able to see from your mobile phone or your laptop. You can see here. So for third years, I would like to give one special instructions. Suppose if you are become a counselor in schools, okay, or positive psychology in a school, you have to train the teachers how to make a better classroom, but how to manage the classroom. Okay, that is the role you will play. But for first years, the same thing in education psychology. What you will do in education setting, if you become an education psychologist in future, so these are the things you have to teach or convey the message to the school teachers. Okay, as I told in the classroom that. Suppose if you are appointed as a school counselor, one of the important thing you will do is prepare annual action plan for the academic year. Okay, in that academic year, you will plan for the teachers. Some of you plan for students. Some of you plan for parents. Okay, here is one of the things. Classroom management is a strategy. It should be given to the teachers. You have to plan for that also. So here, one of the important thing you have to understand how to create a positive school environment in the classroom, a positive classroom environment. I will tell you, you all know that there are many teachers are there in your lifetime, okay? And you cannot remember all the teachers. You can remember only the teacher who cares about you. For example, when they are walking in the classroom, when they see your face and then say that, oh, you are not feeling well. If they ask these things, that has a more impact than anybody else. Even they are having the very excellent knowledge in the subject, it won't has any impact on making the relationship in future. Okay, so we have to understand that a teacher who can able to remember only when they are close contact with the students or closely connected with the students. Okay, so this we have to understand. And for creating positive classroom environment, what you have to do, create a culture of respect. Mutual respect. The teachers should respect the student values, students' behavior, as well as vice versa also. Students also should show respect to the teachers. Okay, We all know that a person who is giving respect, they are getting respect. And rapport is very important. What you have to do if you are become a school counselor, you have to insist on the teachers how they have to start teaching. They studied how to teach. They know the teaching skills. But making rapport is one of the important component of psychology. We have to teach them how to build a rapport. Rapport is nothing but just encouraging them. Ease the process of teaching and learning. Dear student, what is the benefit of this class? And you can inform them how it will be benefit after the sessions. These are the informations you have to say, and you have to in that message you have to say that how caring about you. See, I was collected information various sources. This difficulty I have encountered it is because. Excuse me. Okay, you can take it. Excuse me. Here's the glass. Here's the glass. It has happened when we work from home. I think today is only one disturbance. Yesterday we had many more disturbances. Okay. So when we say clearly about how we were spend quality time for preparing the content for the class, then students will understand. Okay. And one more thing, we all know that favorite teacher. Every student, there will be one teacher is more favorite to them. There are many reasons for that. Try to insist these point to the teachers who are where you are working as a school counselor or positive psychologist. Inform them to become a favorite teacher only. You can able to enable the student to open their mind to learn what you are saying. And frequently, or I can say that frequently express your feeling to the students. How much I'm caring about you in the class. You have to say these things. And one more thing, every teacher have a unique style of teaching. Okay, some they are very good in using blackboard, some they are very good in technology, some they are in the oration itself, the language in which they are using, that has a more impact. So you have to develop your unique styles. That is one of the important components. First one is how to create a culture of respect and rapport. That is one of the important components. You have to train the teachers on this component. Okay. This will lead you better environment, better classroom environment. This is one point. And second, you can see establish culture of expectations for learning. Many of students, once they are enrolled in a college program, they thought that the learning is not from the classroom. Okay, they are coming there for only for communicating with their friends, but that's not true. Establishing culture is very, very important here. And from the day one itself, the teacher has to inform the student, these are my expectations from you. Okay. And if you have to ask the student, if you break the rules, what are the consequences? Ask from the student itself. This is another important point we have to convey the message to them. And suppose when the learning is compromised, for example, some of the students are listening, not listening in the classroom. And you have to say them, what are the consequences you will face, suppose if they are not listening. And at the same time, this, instead of that, you can do these kind of practices. Okay, suppose if you are not interested in listening, sitting in the classroom, just go to the library and learn. Alternative ways we can show to the students. And teach and reinforce appropriate behavior in the classroom. I think many of the teachers are thinking that the students are matured enough, they know how to behave in the classroom. Don't assume, because there are a different environment, they may had experience in the school settings. Okay, different environment will be there. Different home is family practices are there. Different culture, different religious practices. These has an influence on our behavior. Don't, as a teacher, you have to inform the teachers. Don't assume all the students know how to behave in a social setting and are in the classroom appropriately. These things you have to say. In my class, I expect you have to be silent when the teacher speaks. Okay. If you would like to ask a question, just raise your hand and then you can ask a question. So likewise, we have to make rules and regulations. These and then you have to say that what are the appropriate behavior, what are the behaviors are not appropriate for the classroom setting. Very important. And next one is managing procedures efficiently and effectively. And we all know that when we are going into the classroom, when the teachers will go to the classroom, many teachers are very good at preparing for the class, and most of them are not good in that. What they will do, they will go to the class without preparation, and then they will take some here and there portions, and then after some point of time, they may not having any point at all. So they will discuss about general point. But most of the students like to discuss more general point than the subject matter. In general, I think, based on my experience, I'm sharing. But what we have to do, what you have to insist to that effective teacher, you have to inform the teachers, you have to prepare an annual plan, what we can say lesson plan, you have to ask them to prepare. So for another 45 minutes, what are the content I'm going to deliver to you? These things you have to ask them to prepare earlier. And if it is possible, through administration, you can provide a training how to prepare the lesson plan, how to prepare a semester. Trimester is there in schools. Trimester means quarter they will split throughout the academic program in 3 quarters. And each quarter they have to teach something. So every semester, like what you are having 2 semesters, they have to prepare for each semester, they have to prepare annual plan and overall plan also they have to prepare before going into the session. This is another important thing that will lead you, when the teacher will be more effective and efficient in the classroom interactions. Okay. And another important thing is on organizing the classroom structure is very important. And we can see when the teacher is speaking, he has to show like this. Okay, he can able to see the student only now 180 degree. Okay, this is a 180 degree they can able to see. But they are very close. If the classroom is not set up in that proper way, it's very difficult to make eye contact to the students. Once we miss eye contact, the students will not listen to the classroom. So insist these things to the teachers. And one more thing, we are thinking about only physical infrastructure for effective classroom. No, there is another one is psychological well-being, also another important component. What you have to insist, the students are not good in that. You can be able to see by seeing the face itself. If among 70 students, 10 are less than 10 is not attentive, it's not a problem at all. Think about it, among the 70, more than 50% of students, more than 35 students are not attending the class. There's a problem in that. They are emotionally disturbed. It may be because of the words used by the teachers. So you have to inform the teachers, suppose, just understand the non-verbal cues exhibited by the students and behave accordingly. And we have to make a teaching based on that understanding. And one more thing, don't stick into the only one space for teaching. Just move around here and there, because the movement will stimulate the students' attention. Okay. Maximize focus on learning. And I think we will do chit chats without having any related in a subject. We will discuss many points. We have to inform them how it is relevant to that. And we have to apply the theory what we were studying in the classroom and the day-to-day life. So when we are managing the classroom, not only think about the physical infrastructure in the classroom, you have to think about that psychological thought process also, and then emotions also you have to give more importance. Okay. And finally, there is one more point I'm going to add here. Managing the behaviors. I think many of the teachers are they doesn't know how to manage. Instead of managing the behavior, what they will do, they will be aggressive in front of the students. They will abuse. They will give the punishment students. That will cause a problem to them. And how they can make a manage a behavior. First, I will what you have to do in the school environment as a counselor, as a psychologist. You have to inform the teachers. List out what are the behavior problem you were identifying in your classroom. Just list out. Okay. Then ask them what are the problem you can be able to manage and how you will manage. Just make a list. And you discuss with another, you have studied the different strategies to manage the behaviors. You found that the particular strategy is more effective. You convey the message to them. It is a very good strategy. You can continue. Suppose you found that the particular strategy given by the teacher is ineffective. Just say them that this strategy will not work. You have to give the reason for that also. And suppose even as a psychologist in the school setting, if you are working, you doesn't know how to manage the behavior. Don't hesitate to ask the senior teachers in the classroom, because based on their experience, they come to know the strategies. And we have to understand that that strategy is an effective one, and it should be based on the psychological principles. Then only you can take it. If it is not based on psychological principles, just leave it. Okay, because when you do that, and then somebody, a supervisor, will come and observe what are the things what you have done in the classroom for a thing. If it is not wrong, they will say that what you have done in the school is wrong. They will say. And one more thing, when you want to make a quality behavior from the students, you have to give the respect to the students. Very respect for all the. If they have some, if you give the respect, they will give you respect. And one more thing, we have to focus on. Some students are learning effectively and they are giving answers properly. You have to appreciate in front of others. You have to praise them publicly, not in the just come to the faculty room. I will give you. You have to appraise them. You have to praise them in that classroom itself among his friends. That will motivate him to behave properly. And when you see some of the students are not attending the classes, you can find out there are two reasons. One is for they may not know, they may not aware about what is appropriate behavior. One, another one is they are attention seekers. They try to disturb the class by showing that unwanted behavior. So these are the two reasons commonly you can find out. And if it is on first reason, you have to give the psychoeducation. If it is on second reason, you have to give personally invite them and then you have to inform them what are the consequences they will face. Okay, in polite manner. And just I'm going to unmute all your calls. As I said, there are 5 important components. If you have any points you would like to add, someone I will come forward and then say these are the points we will discuss. We can summarize the points and we are going to make a discussions. So what are the things you feel that is the most effective way we can make a positive classroom environment? What are the things which will not work for creating positive environment? So that where you have to discuss with me, because I felt that just giving lecture for another 30 minutes, it won't effective. So just 10 minutes for lecture and then another 10 minutes for discussion. Then again we'll go for another point. Okay. Just I'm going to unmute all your calls. Then you have to just yes. Now we can to add more points. You can ask me. Raise your hand and then you'll able to hear. Haran? Haran?
I'm here, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Haran? Niveta?
உங்க வாய்ஸ் ரொம்ப கம்மியா கேக்குது சார்.
Okay, my voice is very low. Okay. Okay, I will put up questions. What are the appropriate strategies you can suggest for better classroom environment? Yes. See, these things were recorded and it will be updated on YouTube. Suppose if you are not making any inputs, it will also.
This sounds are from Miss Malaka.
Yeah, yes, please. Yes. I can able to see most of you here in my desktop.
Sir, I would also like to add some few points into it.
Yes, please.
So I think the main important component to our gain attention because in the classroom it is mainly concentrated on learning process actually. So to have a successful learning.
Haran கேட்க மாட்டீங்க.
1 minute, Haran, I will mute others. Then you can.
இதெல்லாம் முடியாதுடா.
Okay, sir. Now is it audible, sir?
Yeah, yes, it is audible. Please
Yes,
proceed.
sir. So actually, when we seeing about the classroom, I think the learning is the very important process which is essential for classroom actually.
Yes,
So when we see that to have the active learning, we need the engagement of all the students and the teachers. So that is a very important thing.
yes,
So if we see about the engagement of the students to involve in learning,
yes,
so I hope few techniques may help for it. So number one is the classroom arrangement. So the
yes.
seating arrangement of the students may be the important factor which helps them to do that.
Amazing point, man.
And
Yes.
yes, sir. Then the next thing, the common interest. I mean, starting from the basic thing.
Mm.
So if you directly start a concept from a bigger concept, means it may be not understandable to some other students. So if we start from basic and if we are interacting with other students, means it will be going as a very good engagement classroom. I think so. Sir. Then
Yeah.
the next thing is revealing their topic in the before day itself. I
Yes.
mean, the teacher is saying that tomorrow our class is going to be this, so please explore regarding that. Means there will be the more interaction with students. They will also come ready there.
True.
So these are 3 points I would like to share in this positive classroom management technique. So
Fine,
that's it.
fine, Haran. Amazing. I think I would like to appreciate you for these points. And Srinidhi Kanis would like to add a few more points here. Yes.
Yes, sir. The positive school management, we talked about various different points. Well, I would like to add, I mean, it is related to some points, but I would like to add to it
Yes.
about engaging them in some activities other than learning process. When they are sitting and learning in a particular class for so many hours, they tend to get bored with the classes.
True.
So engaging them in some we used to do like rain claps and different activities involving them with the learning can increase their interest and the learning speed of the individuals. And the second point which I would like to add is the teacher should know the pulse of the students. Like
Yes.
there are teachers who continue with a class even not knowing that the class is very boring, or
Yeah.
the class is not is not full of energy or vibe. So the teacher should know the pulse of the student about how are they interested in learning, or are they feeling bored. So accordingly, the teacher should take the class.
Yeah, this point was
This is my
pointed by Haran also. I would like to say that why they are doing it. And there are few interactions with some of the teachers. Their point is they have to complete the lesson within the time period. That is one reason they are not bothering about the students.
yeah.
And the second one is, as I said in the earlier, they are not aware about these things. Because I told you in B.Ed courses, it is a teaching program. There they will teach you how to understand student behavior in the classroom. But
Mm.
those are coming to our field. Unless if they studied education psychology, they may aware about it. If they are not studied, it is very difficult for them to understand those points.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you said
Sir, my third point is teachers should update according to the students. Like there are teachers who are taking classes in a very old way, in a particular manner which they are used to. So they are not in the current update. So it doesn't match or go with the students' flow. So
yes.
there is a lag between the students and the teachers. So the update should be constant. Yeah, these are my points, sir.
See, there is a no, I don't know. I read it from one of the teacher when we were attending a program. He told
Okay.
me that if your student is on up to date, the teacher
Okay.
must be futuristic. Then only he
Yeah.
will be able to manage the student. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
Mm.
And I would like to say that Mr. Karthikeyan is a leading industry psychologist in Chennai. Once he said that the teachers are like black and white TVs. Okay,
Okay.
students are smart TVs. So what we are going on in the classroom, the black and white TV trying to control the smart TVs. Hey, listen what I'm saying. Okay.
True, sir.
So the smart TV know, see, they know that very old instrument but you are saying that, okay, it's
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that creates a negative environment where they tend to take control over things just because they are elder to them.
Yes.
So might be a teacher should be friends with the students also to have a more positive thing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, anybody else? You can raise your hand and then you can add on. You can see there is a more button in just raise your hand. Or if you are in a video, just show like this or show like this. That means I can able to understand you are having. You would like to add few more points or would like to ask the questions. Yes. Sona. Sona?
Sir,
Yeah, please add on few more points. Is it okay? We will have a discussion in between, or there is a way the teacher only speak for 40 minutes. Which one is better?
எனக்கு புரியல சார்.
இப்போ வந்து டீச்சர்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு 40 நிமிஷம் பேசுறது நல்லா இருக்குமா இல்ல இன் பிட்வீன் வந்து ஒரு 10 மினிட்ஸ் பேசிட்டு 10 மினிட்ஸ் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணா நல்லா இருக்குமா?
10 minutes பேசிட்டு 10 minutes டிஸ்கஸ் பண்றது தான் சார் நல்லா இருக்கும்.
நல்லா இருக்கும். ஃபைன். ஓகே. ஒரு பாசிட்டிவ் கிளாஸ் என்விரான்மென்ட் கிரியேட் பண்றதுக்கு do you have any idea?
இடையில ஏதாச்சும் கொஸ்டின் கேட்டுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் ஏதாச்சும் ஆக்டிவிட்டி கொடுத்தா கொஞ்சம் சார்.
அது நீங்க ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ் கொடுத்தா லெசன் கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ண முடியுமா?
சார் டைம் பேலன்ஸ் பண்ணி ரெண்டுமே ஈக்குவலா பண்ணுங்க.
Fine, very good. Thank you, Sona.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Sridhar. Last thing. Vega Sri. Yes.
லெசனை வந்து ஆக்டிவிட்டி மூலமா ஜாயின் பண்ணலாம். இப்ப நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி இந்த குரூப் டிஸ்கஷன் பண்ணி அவங்கள வந்து ஒரு லாஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் லெசன் பிளான் சார்ட் மாதிரி போடுங்க.
Yes. Adya. Hello. Lisalin. Just raise your hand, man. Many of you not that activated your video.
Sir?
Yes. Divyaraj. Mr. Divyaraj. Divyaraj.
இருக்கேன் சார்.
Yes, please.
Hello. Is it audible, sir? Is it audible, sir?
Yeah, yes. I can able to hear you.
சார் இப்போ வந்து நம்ம கிளாஸ்க்குள்ளே கிளாஸ் வைக்காம கொஞ்சம் வெளியே போய் கொஞ்சம் என்விரான்மெண்ட் மாத்தினா நல்லா இருக்கும்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன் சார்.
இப்போ நம்ம the constraints இருக்கு இல்லையா? There is a we are not able to have a classroom in that outside பண்ண முடியாது. It may distract other students who are sitting in the classroom இல்லையா?
அது ஒரு பாயிண்ட் சார். ஆனா கொஞ்சம் என்விரான்மெண்டா நம்ம வேற மாதிரி இப்போ ஒரே கிளாஸ்ல இருந்து டிஸ்கஷன் மட்டும் இல்லாம வெளியே போய் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் பண்ணி நிறைய லேர்ன் பண்ணிக்கலாம் அப்படின்ற ஒரு பாயிண்ட் இருக்குல்ல சார்?
உங்களோட எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன்ஸ் நம்ம என்ன பார்க்கலாம். பட் நிறைய கிளாஸ் ரூம்ஸ் ஸ்கூல்ஸ்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா தேர் என்ன நீங்க வந்து நான் என்ன பாயிண்ட்ல ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் புரிஞ்சிருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். in a school setting, அந்த ஸ்கூல் செட்டிங்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா there is no space more than classrooms. அவங்க
பாயிண்ட் சார்.
Don't think about American college. American college நமக்கு வந்து they are having enormous space. I think we were blessed, I can say. We were in the paradise. We are in paradise now.
பாயிண்ட்
சொல்லுங்க வேண்டியது.
இது நம்ம வேற இடத்துல you can't expect these things. Only classroom வெளியில போய் there is no space for them.
கரெக்ட் சார்.
Okay. So next, raise your hand and then ask me. Or you can share your points. Aisha? Is Aisha?
The meeting is going to end in minutes, sir.
Yeah, yes. Before that, we will discuss. Aisha is there?
Yes, sir, I'm sir.
Yes, please, you can ask. You can share your inputs.
So, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் இப்போ நம்ம பார்த்தோம்னா அந்த சில்ட்ரனுக்கு வந்து ஒரு மைண்ட் செட் வந்து நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி